Football is nearly back, but there's still a little bit of lingering aftertaste of ranking season, which is how we fill our time in between the Super Bowl as well until training camp. There's a draft in there as well. PFF, Pro Football Focus, the Minnesota Vikings frenemies, did up the 50 best players in the National Football League right now. 2 Vikings made the list. Seems a little shallow. Wanted a little bit more, even though, yes, I fully understand that it's above the average of players around league. Each team, 32 teams, 50 spots. They should be getting 1.5, something like that. So having 2 is great. But I do think that Jefferson is ranked a little bit low. I do think that maybe a guy like Thielen or Harrison Smith or Danielle Hunter, if he was healthy, could come along on the back end of the 50. Maybe even Brian O'Neill. Who really knows? But let's dive into the list. So up at 1, got Aaron Donald. Yes. Generational player, fantastic. Could have drafted him in 2014, but we got Anthony Barr. Don't worry, man. 2. Trent Williams. Didn't need Trent Williams. Didn't need to trade for Trent Williams when he was very unhappy in Washington and sat out a year. Didn't need to do that. No big deal. 3, Aaron Rodgers. You think that a guy so high would be able to win a Super Bowl, multiple Super Bowls, especially in recent memory, right? The alleged 2-time MVP. Also had number 4 player, Devontae Adams. Now, Adams up there at 4. I respect it. I understand it. But I don't think that Jefferson should be at 17. We'll get into that in a sec. So Mahomes, Josh Allen, yes, TJ, Tom Brady, Zach Martin. I do love that PFF gives respect to interior offensive linemen. I don't think they get their due anywhere else. Quentin Nelson, speak of interior offensive linemen. Myles Garrett at 12. Cooper Kupp, Jalen Ramsey. So Cooper Kupp is wide receiver 2. Derrick Henry, even though Derrick Henry's been riddled with injuries, still up there at 16. Okay. So 17, Jefferson clocks in as wide receiver 3. So I'm okay for now for the ranking at 3, but 17 just seems a little bit low, doesn't it? Anyways, here's what they wrote. Jefferson has more receiving yards than any other player in NFL history after the first 2 seasons. It's impossible to say he is the best receiver in the game right now. Why is it impossible? You can just say it. Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the game right now. Oh, that was easy. It wasn't impossible. It wasn't like the Impossible Burger made out of like beans and stuff. But it's also impossible to say with any certainty that it isn't. There's a second part to that sentence. Nailed it. Jefferson is a complete weapon for the Vikings passing game and will now play in an offense under new head coach Kevin McConnell that will feature the passing game even more. Yeesh. Also, run on the guards. Got Joel Bitonio, Cameron Hayward, blah, blah, blah. Jonathan Taylor Thomas, running back 2. It's important to note that. And then eventually, Burrow seems a little bit low, doesn't he? Debo, wide receiver, running back. Could you count him as 3? Sure, we'll count him a wide receiver. So we go down in an earlier round. Dalvin. So clocking in at running back 3. Well, he is running back 3, right? McCaffrey doesn't make the list. Good. Well, if the logic that McCaffrey didn't make the list because he's been injured, why doesn't that apply to Derrick Henry? I understand that Dalvin has seasonal injuries, misses a game or 2, but we're talking about missing significant time, like Derrick Henry last year, like Christian McCaffrey each of the last 2 seasons. Now, but this is what they wrote about Dalvin. Cook hasn't had as good a blocking in front of him as some of the other elite running backs. Yeah, you look at Jonathan Taylor Thomas with the Colts. Yeah, no big deal. Just Quentin Nelson. Yeah, but his ability to make something out of nothing shows up time and time again for the Vikings. He has averaged 3 yards after contact for his career while posting double-digit breakaway runs of 15 or more in each of the past 3 seasons. Cool. Even though I do think that the Vikings' run blocking has improved significantly in the last couple of years. That's one of the things that the offensive line actually does well. I mean, Dalvin has made chicken salad out of chicken bleep over the last couple of years, and I don't think he gets enough credit for that. So I'm glad that PFF is pointing that out. And a running back 3 at this stage, I'll take it. I'll take it. Just him making the top 50 is really a nice little gesture. Also, ahead of guys who are studs like Nick Chubb. I think that he's the last running back on the list. Also, the fact that PFF notoriously hates running backs. It's also something to point out. I do think that Jamar Chase is low. So at the same time, I think that Jamar Chase is slightly overhyped. Everyone and their mom is picking him as a wide receiver 4 in the league right now, or even putting him above Jefferson. Now, I do think that he's talented. I don't think that he's at that stage yet. But, I mean, 42 seems a little bit low. I don't know. Adrian Amos, really? Really. I think that's Stephon Diggs checking it at 39. So, I mean, overall, I mean, Wirf's at 38. Could you say Brian O'Neill could have snuck onto the top 50? Sure, but then again, who do you take off? That's always tough. I don't think Khalil Mack should be on this list. I think if Danielle Hunter, if and when he stays healthy, will be able to be on this list. Yes, I think so. I mean, Harrison could have snuck on the tail end, sure. Even though last year he was fine, but it wasn't a Harrison Smith type season. Maybe Eric Kendricks could have got on here. He's still the best coverage linebacker in the game. But sort of is what it is. Like I said, this is just more us tilting at windmills. To a degree, we should be thankful that they actually gave the Vikings the time of day, and they did put 2 players on the list, both in the top 40. Dalvin was a bit of a surprise, like seeing him as running back 3. But Jefferson, even though he's running back 3, 17 overall, it could have been a little bit higher. Been a little bit higher in that spot. But that's it. That's our thoughts on only 2 Vikings making the PFF top 50. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull, production value.